I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting. Being that, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, we was all cool at one point in time. And
now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight.
24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fall great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud.
In a live interview, Terence Crawford confidently spoke about Floyd Mayweather and his own legacy, saying Mayweather's era is over and that this is his time now. He made it clear that the spotlight should be on him as the face of boxing today, positioning himself as the fighter who is carrying the sport forward for this generation.
Broadcast for Jake and Tyson, and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not gonna poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
You don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Floyd Mayweather reminded fans that he had already schooled Canelo Alvarez when he was older than him, proving his superior skill and experience. He argued that Terence Crawford's win over Canelo should not be viewed as such a big achievement, since both of their signature victories came against the same fighter. To Floyd, this shows that his victory stands as the greater accomplishment, and Crawford's success does not put him above Mayweather's legacy.
He's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight. And now what they're gonna say, well, now he got what? I don't know how many fights he got.
Some analysts say Terence Crawford cannot be compared to Floyd Mayweather yet, because he doesn't have the perfect 50-0 record Floyd proudly owns. They argue that to truly pass Mayweather in boxing greatness, Crawford must achieve more than just beating top names like Canelo Alvarez. Many suggest he should move up in weight and face David Benavidez, a dangerous and powerful fighter. Defeating Benavidez would not only prove Crawford's fearlessness, but also show he can overcome one of the toughest challenges in boxing today. Without a victory like that, experts believe Crawford will never be remembered on Mayweather's level, no matter his current success.
Hey, you look at Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0 with 24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fall great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford, but both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, slower, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people are scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Durant from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5, top 7.
Strainer Robert Garcia sees things differently. He believes Terence Crawford will avoid risking his legacy by fighting David Benavidez. In Garcia's view, Crawford is a smart fighter who understands how to cement his place in history without taking unnecessary risks. Benavidez's size and power make him a dangerous opponent who could end Crawford's undefeated run. For Garcia, the risk simply outweighs the reward, since Crawford already has an impressive resume and doesn't need to face someone outside his natural division. His perspective reflects the ongoing debate between taking legacy-defining risks and protecting a near-perfect career.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But it is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, shared his opinion that while Terence Crawford clearly outboxed Canelo Alvarez, it shouldn't be seen as the ultimate standard. He noted that Canelo was not the same fighter he once was, lacking the sharpness and power in his punches. Jeff reminded fans that before this fight, many doubted Crawford's level of competition, and even after beating Canelo, some still minimized the accomplishment. To him, the win was impressive, but needs context since Canelo wasn't in his absolute prime. It doesn't automatically place Crawford above all criticism.
You know, Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power. And obviously that proved not to be, or to be the case, that Crawford could definitely handle the power. Were you surprised that, you know, it didn't look like, you know, maybe once or twice it looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble?
Yeah, I don't think that Canelo hit him. I mean, he hit him a couple times clean, but I mean, Crawford, you know, Crawford's a big guy too. Crawford took it like it was nothing. You know, I mean, and he hit Canelo a few times. I mean, and you know, and Canelo took it as well. So I mean, basically, at the end of the day, I mean, they both took, you know, decent shots from each other, but Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did.
Do you think that was, a case of, you know, you can't, you know, Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations, that he's, you know, more of a, you know, punch at a time kind of guy, you know, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically, Canelo was looking for just one big shot, trying to land a big shot on Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And Crawford at times would say, you know, I guess he would say to himself, you know, I need to, you know, do a little more work. And basically, and it seemed like he just did that. And he would let his hands go.
Legendary fighter Roy Jones Jr. offered a sharp critique of Floyd Mayweather's legacy. He argued that apart from facing Canelo Alvarez, Floyd rarely fought the very best opponents of his era while they were at their peak. Jones questioned how Mayweather is often called the greatest, when much of his resume features fighters who were smaller, older, or past their prime. He suggested that the legendary status given to Floyd is exaggerated compared to what he truly accomplished. For Jones, while Mayweather's perfect record is historic, the quality and timing of his opponents leave room for debate, especially when measuring him against versatile fighters like Terence Crawford.
Floyd Mayweather, top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5. He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. You know he's going to prison when he get through. And then to take it even further.
He fought Cotto.
Cotto was not on his level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And is Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto is not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great. All right, so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out. Now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them best two names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is, I'm not gonna say who
because I can't name a person.
I'm not gonna say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was obviously equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for it.
An analyst drew a clear line between popularity and pure skill. He acknowledged that Floyd Mayweather's worldwide fan base is unmatched, fueled by his undefeated record and massive pay-per-view success. But when it comes to talent alone, he argued that Terence Crawford might have the edge. Crawford's natural southpaw style, along with his rare ability to switch stances mid-fight, makes him able to adjust to any opponent. This versatility has led many to believe Crawford's technical skills could even surpass Mayweather's. The debate raises a bigger question in boxing. Should greatness be defined by global fame and RS, or by raw skill and adaptability in the ring?
Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who wins this fight? I'm going with Terence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat a Terence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.
Former world champion Shane Mosley gave a simple comparison between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. He pointed out that Crawford's natural size gives him an advantage Floyd never had. Being the bigger fighter, Crawford can move through more weight classes while keeping his power and strength. Mosley explained that while Mayweather mastered defense and timing, Crawford's physical edge lets him dominate opponents in ways Floyd couldn't. For Mosley, this makes direct comparisons unfair, since Crawford's frame and natural build give him chances Floyd never enjoyed.
Who's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Jeff Mayweather reminded fans that when Floyd fought Canelo Alvarez, he was already past his prime. Even though he was older, slower, and not as sharp as before, Floyd completely schooled Canelo using his experience, defense, and ring IQ. Jeff explained that this sets Floyd's win apart from Crawford since Crawford beat a more seasoned Canelo, while Floyd did it at a time when he himself was no longer at his peak. For Jeff, this context proves Floyd's greatness is still unmatched, no matter how many more wins Crawford adds to his record.
Also, if we remember, you know, Canelo You know, that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, you know, into deep waters. So
Yeah. What was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
yeah, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
Man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime when you were 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
Your prime is in your 20s.
it's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, for sure. And that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
To
make himself look like he did something great.
Crawford has also addressed the comparisons with Floyd Mayweather. He acknowledged Floyd's accomplishments and admitted that his legacy is permanent. Still, Crawford stressed that Mayweather belonged to his own era, and every era eventually fades. He explained that greatness doesn't last forever, and a new generation always steps in to take the spotlight, presenting himself as the fighter of today. In doing so, Crawford shows respect for Floyd's legacy while confidently positioning himself as the face of modern boxing.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
No.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your...
Okay, that's a no.
Trainer Greg Hackett praised Terence Crawford after his win over Canelo Alvarez, calling it a victory that cemented Crawford's legacy as greater than Canelo's still. Hackett made it clear this doesn't put Crawford above Floyd Mayweather. He explained that while beating Canelo is a career-defining moment, it doesn't erase what Floyd achieved over decades. In Hackett's view, Crawford deserves credit for such a dominant performance, but comparisons to Mayweather must be made with caution since Floyd's body of work is much bigger and more proven.
Because you gotta remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, you know, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm gonna fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Damn, like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up?
That's the shit gotta make sense. Like you said, you beat a shark, I mean, you beat a wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yes, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that's to me it don't make sense. But that's what
monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, you got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend. But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah, get a line of suits. Get a line of suits, get your money. Go ahead and get the easy money, boy. You ain't gotta sweat no more. Not saying you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta sweat. He's paved the career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times, fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's because when a guy see himself up here and then fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he like, man, this ain't even that. But the coach like, listen, you can get fucked up. I'm telling you. You don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get. I seen it happen.
Former champion Sean Porter discussed the impact of Crawford's win over Canelo on his podcast. He noted that Crawford didn't just take on the challenge, he dismantled Canelo in a way few expected. Porter explained that the fight proved Crawford's skills translate across weight classes and against different styles. He highlighted Crawford's adaptability, technical brilliance, and mental toughness, showing he can perform at the very highest level of boxing.
Because for Jake and Tyson and you know, some people like the likes of Crawford viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, you know, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not gonna poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting a, forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, you know, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You know, you lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
You don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Perhaps the most historic achievement that sets Terence Crawford apart is his unmatched success. As the first boxer to become undisputed champion in 3 different weight divisions, this milestone highlights not only his versatility, but also his longevity throughout different stages of his career. Very few fighters in history have managed to dominate so thoroughly across multiple divisions. This accomplishment secures Crawford's place in boxing history and guarantees that, regardless of comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, his spot among the sport's all-time greats is already locked in.
Bud Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the first ever male 3-division undisputed champion in boxing history. Thank God the judges got this one right. But wow, what a technical battle this was. It was a very close fight, but as it went on, Terence was getting more and more comfortable in there. I remember in the 7th round, he even stood right in front of Canelo and fought him on the inside. Then in rounds 9 through 12, Crawford really started to open up on his flurries, gaining Canelo's respect. But the reason Crawford won this fight was because he was surprisingly durable at 168. He was able to do his thing because for the 36 minutes he was in there with Canelo, he was never really worried about what was coming back at him. I mean, Canelo just kept going to Terence's right side of his body, and that stung a couple times, but those were the really only hard shots Canelo landed. Unfortunately, this is terrible for Canelo's legacy because the smaller man beat him up, and Canelo's kind of been cherry-picking his opponents the last couple years. But well-deserved for Terence Crawford. It's gonna look amazing on his legacy. Boxing got it right tonight. On the biggest stage, with the most eyeballs, no controversy, just pure sport. And one of the best ever at the sport got it done tonight, Terence Bud Crawford.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.